What if I told you the foods in your kitchen might hold the key to reducing joint pain? Most of us take our joints for granted until something goes wrong. By then, we're desperate for solutions, frantically searching online for remedies and wondering if we could have prevented the problem in the first place. Today, we're cutting through the confusion about joint health with science-backed answers to your most pressing questions about bone broth benefits, inflammatory foods, temperature therapy, and protective strategies from childhood through your senior years. Did you know that over 58 million Americans currently live with some form of arthritis? That's nearly 1 in 4 adults. Even more concerning, joint conditions are appearing in younger people than ever before. The choices we make daily affect how our joints will function decades from now. I've spent months researching the latest studies on joint health, talking with rheumatologists, nutritionists, and physical therapists to bring you practical information you can actually use. Whether you're already experiencing joint pain or hoping to prevent it, this comprehensive guide separates fact from fiction. Let's start with one of the most common questions about joint health. Can certain oils actually help relieve joint pain? The answer might surprise you. Olive oil has been extensively studied for its anti-inflammatory properties. Research published in the journal Nutritionists found that extra virgin olive oil contains a compound called oleocanthal that works similarly to ibuprofen. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons daily could help reduce joint inflammation over time. It's not an instant fix, consistency matters here. Fish oil is another powerful option. The omega-3 fatty acids in fish oil, particularly EPA and DHA, directly target inflammatory pathways in your body. A meta-analysis of 17 studies showed that taking fish oil supplements reduced joint pain intensity and morning stiffness in people with rheumatoid arthritis. But not all oils are helpful. Those high in omega-6 fatty acids, like corn, sunflower, and soybean oils, may actually promote inflammation when consumed in excess. The typical Western diet contains far too many omega-6 compared to omega-3s, creating an imbalance that can worsen joint health. Avocado oil deserves special mention. It contains high levels of monounsaturated fats and specific compounds that may protect cartilage. One study found that avocado-soybean unsaponifiables, ASU, a mixture of avocado and soybean oils, reduced pain and stiffness while improving joint function in people with osteoarthritis. Now, let's address one of the most popular joint health remedies, bone broth. Walk into any health food store and you'll find bone broth products claiming to rebuild cartilage and reverse joint damage. But what does the science actually say? Bone broth contains collagen, glucosamine, chondroitin, and other compounds that form the building blocks of cartilage. Theoretically, consuming these nutrients could support joint health. However, the claim that drinking bone broth will directly restore damaged cartilage oversimplifies a complex biological process. When you consume collagen in bone broth, your digestive system breaks it down into amino acids. These amino acids enter your bloodstream and are distributed throughout your body based on need. They don't automatically travel to your damaged cartilage. Your body decides where these building blocks go. That said, research does show some promising connections. A 2024 systematic review found that collagen supplementation, often derived from similar sources as bone broth, improved joint pain scores and mobility in people with osteoarthritis. The effects were modest but meaningful. The truth about bone broth lies somewhere in the middle. While it likely won't rebuild severely damaged cartilage, regular consumption may provide nutritional support for overall joint maintenance. Think of it as one tool in your joint health toolkit, not a miracle cure. Another natural remedy gaining attention is ginger. Does this common kitchen spice really reduce joint inflammation? The evidence suggests it does. Ginger contains over 400 active compounds, with gingerols and shogaols being the most significant anti-inflammatory agents. These compounds inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines, essentially putting the brakes on your body's inflammatory response. A 2019 review published in Foods analyzed multiple clinical trials and concluded that ginger supplementation significantly reduced inflammatory markers in various conditions, including osteoarthritis. Participants typically consumed 1–2 grams of ginger daily, either as fresh ginger, powdered supplements, or extract. What makes ginger particularly valuable is its safety profile. Unlike many anti-inflammatory medications that can damage your stomach lining or increase cardiovascular risks with long-term use, ginger has minimal side effects when consumed in reasonable amounts. You can incorporate ginger into your routine by adding fresh ginger to stir-fries, brewing ginger tea, or taking standardized supplements. For maximum benefit, many experts recommend combining ginger with turmeric, another powerful anti-inflammatory spice. The curcumin in turmeric works synergistically with ginger's active compounds. When joint pain strikes, many of us face a common dilemma. Should we reach for ice or heat? The answer depends on several factors, and using the wrong therapy could actually worsen your condition. Cold therapy constricts blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the affected area. This makes it ideal for acute injuries or flare-ups, accompanied by swelling and inflammation. When you twist your ankle or experience a sudden arthritis flare, ice is typically your best first response. The optimal approach is to apply cold for 15–20 minutes, then remove it for at least 30 minutes before reapplying. This prevents tissue damage while maximizing the anti-inflammatory benefits. Never apply ice directly to skin. Always wrap it in a thin cloth. Heat therapy, on the other hand, increases blood flow by dilating blood vessels. This brings more oxygen and nutrients to damaged tissues while removing waste products. Heat works best for chronic pain and stiffness, especially when muscles around the joint have become tense. For deep, persistent joint pain, moist heat penetrates more effectively than dry heat. A warm shower, bath, or damp heating pad can provide significant relief. Like cold therapy, limit heat applications to 20 minutes at a time to prevent tissue damage. So which is worse for sore joints, cold or heat? Applying heat to an already inflamed joint with active swelling can intensify inflammation and potentially cause more damage. This mistake happens frequently when people automatically reach for a heating pad without assessing their condition. For acute inflammation, cold is almost always the better choice initially. However, for chronic non-inflamed joint pain associated with conditions like osteoarthritis, avoiding appropriate heat therapy might mean missing out on valuable pain relief. The worst approach is actually not understanding which therapy matches your specific situation. Many experts recommend combining both therapies strategically. This technique, called contrast therapy, involves alternating between cold and heat applications. Typically, starting with heat to relax tissues, followed by cold to reduce inflammation, and ending with heat for comfort. This approach maximizes the benefits of both while minimizing potential harm. While we often think of joint problems as an adult concern, the foundation for lifelong joint health begins in childhood. What can children learn to protect their joints? First and foremost, maintaining healthy body weight is crucial. Each pound of excess weight puts approximately 4 pounds of additional pressure on the knees. Teaching children healthy eating habits and encouraging regular physical activity establishes patterns that protect their joints throughout life. Equally important is learning proper movement mechanics. Children who understand how to lift heavy objects correctly, maintain good posture, and perform athletic movements with proper form are less likely to develop joint problems later. Schools that incorporate basic body mechanics into physical education provide valuable lifelong protection. Varied physical activity is another key lesson. Children who participate in multiple sports rather than specializing too early develop more balanced musculature that properly supports their joints. Specializing in a single sport before adolescence often leads to repetitive stress injuries and imbalanced development. Surprisingly, nutrition education plays a significant role in joint protection. Children who understand the connection between diet and inflammation are better equipped to make joint-friendly food choices. Teaching kids about anti-inflammatory foods like colorful fruits and vegetables, fatty fish, nuts, and healthy oils establishes valuable dietary patterns. Hydration awareness is another simple but powerful lesson. Well-hydrated joints have proper lubrication and shock absorption. Children who learn to drink water regularly throughout the day rather than waiting until they're thirsty help protect their joint cartilage. Finally, children should learn to recognize and respect pain signals. The no pain, no gain mentality has caused countless joint injuries. Teaching children that pain is their body's warning system helps them avoid activities that might damage developing joints. These childhood lessons establish a foundation for joint health that pays dividends throughout life. The habits formed during these formative years often determine joint function decades later. Now, let's address the fundamental question: what are the best ways to maintain joint health over the years? The answer involves a comprehensive approach that evolves as we age. In your 20s and 30s, focus on prevention and establishing healthy habits. This includes maintaining ideal body weight, developing proper exercise form, and building strength in the muscles that support your joints. The collagen in your joints is still abundant during this period, but establishing protective habits now prevents problems later. Incorporate resistance training at least twice weekly to build joint-supporting muscles. Include flexibility work to maintain range of motion and ensure you're getting adequate vitamin D and calcium for bone strength. This is also the time to address any alignment issues or movement patterns that could lead to uneven joint wear. As you enter your 40s and 50s, preservation becomes increasingly important. Your body's natural collagen production decreases and joint fluid may become less viscous. This is when strategic supplementation often becomes valuable. Glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate supplements have shown modest benefits in preserving cartilage and reducing pain, particularly in those already experiencing mild osteoarthritis. Collagen peptides, when taken consistently, may help maintain the integrity of your existing cartilage. This is also when anti-inflammatory nutrition becomes crucial. Build your diet around colorful fruits and vegetables, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, and healthy oils while minimizing processed foods, refined carbohydrates, and excessive animal products. Some research suggests intermittent fasting may help reduce overall inflammation, potentially benefiting joint health. Exercise remains essential but may need modification. Low-impact activities like swimming, cycling, and elliptical training provide cardiovascular benefits without excessive joint stress. Continuing strength training is non-negotiable. Stronger muscles better protect aging joints. In your 60s and beyond, adaptation and maintenance become the focus. Joint-friendly movement patterns, appropriate assistive devices when necessary, and careful attention to pain signals help preserve function. Water-based exercise becomes particularly valuable during this period. The buoyancy of water reduces pressure on joints while providing resistance for strength maintenance. Tai Chi and gentle yoga help maintain balance and prevent falls that could damage joints. Regular movement throughout the day prevents stiffness. Setting a timer to stand and stretch every 30-45 minutes maintains joint lubrication. Morning, gentle stretching routines can significantly reduce age-related stiffness. Across all ages, certain fundamentals remain consistent. Adequate hydration is essential. Aim for at least half your body weight in ounces daily. Proper sleep allows for tissue repair and managing inflammation. Stress management helps control cortisol levels that can contribute to inflammation. Joint health isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you avoid. Repetitive movements without proper form, carrying excessively heavy loads, and ignoring early warning signs of injury all contribute to joint deterioration. Learning proper ergonomics for your daily activities provides significant protection. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect of joint health is consistency. Brief periods of healthy behavior, followed by harmful habits, create a pattern of damage and incomplete repair. The most successful approach to joint longevity involves sustainable habits maintained over decades. Let's address a common misconception. Joint pain is not inevitable with aging. While wear and tear does occur, severe joint deterioration often results from specific risk factors that can be modified. Genetics plays a role, but lifestyle choices significantly influence how your genetic predispositions manifest. One revolutionary concept in joint health is the microbiome connection. Emerging research suggests that gut health directly influences joint inflammation. A 2023 study published in Nature Reviews Rheumatology found that certain gut bacteria produce compounds that either promote or reduce joint inflammation. Foods rich in fiber feed beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids with anti-inflammatory properties. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi introduce beneficial bacteria directly. This gut-joint connection represents one of the most promising areas of research for conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Another promising development involves targeted exercise. Rather than generic recommendations, physical therapists now prescribe specific movement patterns based on individual joint structure and condition. This personalized approach maximizes benefit while minimizing risk. For those already experiencing significant joint damage, regenerative medicine offers new hope. Platelet-rich plasma, PRP, injections use components from your own blood to stimulate healing. While not covered by most insurance plans, many patients report significant improvement, particularly for knee osteoarthritis. Stem cell therapies represent another frontier, though research remains ongoing. These treatments aim to stimulate cartilage regrowth rather than simply managing symptoms. Early studies show promise, though more research is needed before these approaches become mainstream. For most people, however, the fundamentals remain most important. Maintaining healthy weight, consuming anti-inflammatory foods, staying physically active, and addressing problems early provide the greatest protection for your joints throughout life. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the truth about bone broth and beneficial oils to childhood protection strategies and lifelong maintenance approaches. The science of joint health continues to evolve, but certain principles remain constant. By incorporating these evidence-based strategies, you can maintain mobility and comfort throughout your life. Thanks for watching this deep dive into joint health. If you found this information valuable, click the subscribe button for more evidence-based health content.